weekly dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfuckers.
for your hosts, Brandon
And Matt.
By the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hey. No, now you can hear me. Okay. He's okay now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the machine. I am Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
Well, now you are. Before you were just some guy with weird things, not having your hands on your head and stuff. Well, we got a few audio bites. We got some stories we're going to get to, and of course, I need to remind you guys probably more than once that we will not have a show next week.
You better remind me again, because I'll end up coming over here. I know I will.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you can sit here and run the show for me, but I'm not going to be here. You can do it yourself.
Maybe.
I could do a call in to my own show. Like, evening, bitches. But no, seriously, I will not be here next week. I will be gone because I'll be doing my annual trip up north. Thankfully, that's funded by someone else, because otherwise I'd be here. It's my annual history trip.
What day are you leaving?
I'm actually leaving Wednesday.
I'll see about swinging by and giving you some money.
Hey, you fuckers are not going to get to see this very often. Come here, baby. I think it's because he knows where I'm going.
Yeah, I know where you're going. I'll have you get some more of the hot chocolate stuff.
The hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh.
I will give you more money to buy me more of that, because I don't like having just one.
I know. Well, the hot chocolate stuff and of course the bourbon pilgrimage. Because that's the only place you can get the stuff. Oh no! I was going to give him a big wet kiss, but I figured it'd freak him out and he'd leave. So then I wouldn't. Then he wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't come by. So anyhow, no show, Sherman. Actually, what I might be doing, and I'm still trying to figure it out because I'm not sure how to do it on my phone. But I thought about going live on YouTube and giving you guys the grand tour of Midway Village for World War II days.
It's doable.
Yeah, I don't know how though. I'm techno-tarded. I work with my hands, not with a computer. It's embarrassing because, back in the day when I'm talking fucking like Windows 2000 type, Windows 95, Windows 2000, I could crack into video games and change the parameters. Mm-hmm. Now I so much as try and write an email, I'm like, that's the reason why I don't have a website for my business, because I can't do it. I seriously can't do it. It's not like back in the day where you can fucking copy paste, put that shit, make it look professional. Now it's like, no, you have to know some sort of code. You have to understand this. I'm like, okay, well, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, we're going all over, Matt. World War II days is, I believe it's the second largest reenactment in the country, is it not?
Yes.
We get to see some awesome things. I mean, one year they were really trying to bring the only functional king tiger in the world here, and something to do with the freighting, because it was supposed to tour the States. Something to do with the freighting fell through.
Oh.
So we got this close to seeing the biggest, meanest, most, evil fucking tank ever devised in person. But it didn't happen, and it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But because I I got friends that do all this, and I'm there every year, so pretty much everybody knows me there. At this point, I did get to mess around with a Panzer I at one point, and I actually helped start a couple of the German vehicles because they were having trouble with one. They couldn't get it started, and the only mechanic in the area happened to be me, because the guy that owned it was not there. And they're like, it's got to go on the field. It's got to go on the field. I heard them panicking. They're like, it won't start. It won't start. And I'm like, give me a minute. They just looked at me. I was like, move down the bench. And I crawled onto the back of this thing, and they're like, why are we letting him do this? And one of the guys was, let's go ahead, let him do it, because he knows what he's doing. let him do it. And it took about 6 minutes. It was just off time, just enough to where it would not fire, just kind of cough. And I cleaned out the cap, put everything back together. I was like, okay, start it, and it fired right up. And the guy goes, eh. I was like, no, this being done. I tried to get him to let me drive it onto the field, and they said no. Come on, I was like, I got the fucking start. It wouldn't be if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't be moving it. No, we're not letting you drive it. Son of a bitch.
Let me ride in the passenger seat then.
Yeah. They're not going to see me. I'm going to be down inside. Give me one of your hats and one of your coats. I can poke my hat and go. It's a lot of fun, Sherman. It really is. As you can tell, I'm obviously excited. And we do other things. But everything we do is of historical value. Last year, we went to the Harley-Davidson Museum. We went to a few other places that have to do with World War II. In fact, the town that my uncle lives in actually has a spot where Patton's army was once based. And you would never know it because it's like in the middle of fucking town, and there's just some looks like random outbuildings. Those random outbuildings used to be barracks.
Huh.
Well, Angie, I already told you once before. I'm going to build a World War II scout car out of spare parts. You know I can do it. It's not like I haven't built anything weird out of random shit before. All I need is sheet metal and a truck, and I can get away with it. Well, it's a bit of a distance away from you, but you're more than welcome to come. But we also go to the winery and distillery where Matt and I were talking about. It's the only place that we can get this wonderful stuff here. If you guys wish, I will type in the name of the place so you can actually go look up their menu and what they have and everything else like that, because it's fucking delicious. But it's the only place we can get it. We cannot get it in our state because of, the draconian bullshit laws that our state seems to like to have. And apparently, oh, good God, numbers just dropped. I guess they didn't like us talking about what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, there's a lot of things that we do. I mean, I like going to Lake Michigan looking for sea glass. I'm weird like that. It's like a new fucking hobby I get to do once a year now. I get to walk along the beach and find little pieces of glass that are washed up on shore from when people threw trash in the fucking lake from 100 plus years ago. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. It's fun. Where they reenact with horses and swords. They've had horses at ours, and but I'm not quite for certain they're going to allow sharp swords to be swung around when children's heads are at the level. Just putting that out there. I think I'd be. Excuse me. Yeah, bad idea. Yeah, this is the one. Basically, the one time a year I can get away and do my history thing without being necessarily bothered. And I don't know. It's kind of like my solace. Every year I look forward to it. I mean, as soon as it's over and I'm home, I'm already planning to fucking come back. I'm like, I want to go back next year. I am actually a member of the museum that does this too, by the way. I think it's in my wallet. Yep, there it is right there. Nice. Official member of the museum. I'm a contributor. Not that you can fucking see that. But, you guys know how I am about history and everything else like that. To me, it's really fucking exciting, especially when we get to go to new museums and new places, new things that we've never seen before, all over the state. You'd be surprised how much is actually up there, because remember, in World War II, the idea was to keep everything as internally as possible. So the Midwest, especially North, was the safest place for them to put just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And why does my phone keep going off? Okay, who sent me? All right, I'm on a show, guys. I can't respond to that too. It's somebody else that's not listening to the show, so I can't do that. Speaking of which, and I'll be mentioning this more than once again tonight. There is a new video coming out on Lost Battlefields with Tino Struckman Saturday at noon Central Time. That you need to go to the Lost Battlefields YouTube channel and be prepared for. It's quite possibly going to be one of my favorites, I think, and I think it's going to be a real eye opener. And we're going to be talking about some of the of what's going on, but I can't let the cat out of the bag because nobody's seen it yet. So but we'll get to that. Anyhow, like I said, we got a few things we're going to get to. We got a few stories and some audio. I guess the first one's going to be this.
Is that the?
Yes, you may adjust your bifocals.
I got to switch.
Yeah, but the problem is, Angie, is I'm all for realism. So when I go to a museum like that, it has to have actual artifacts that tortured people instead of just some stuff that was made in somebody's garage to look like it was. What? Am I wrong about that? I mean, if I'm going to go in there and be like, this is a guillotine. No shit, I can build one of those in my own garage. This is the guillotine that took off Marie Antoinette's head. Sweet. That was a joke. People don't know the story behind that, but
yeah, like when you actually have the artifact there, those are the museums that have spiritual things happen at night.
Right, like
you kind of catch that vibe off of those artifacts,
Now going to Ripley's, believe it or not, in the Wisconsin Dells, they have half of a serial killer's head, and I mean it's real. It's the dude's head. They cut it in half to test it, and check it, and there's actually half the head.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm standing there like looking at him, like, that's the dude's head. That's awesome. My wife's like, that's fucking disgusting. I'm like, that's awesome. But well, it's like my collection, okay? My mini museum that I'm desperately trying to rebuild after losing most of it. Sherman, most of my stuff is real. It's not remake. It's not reproduction. There's a couple reproductions, but only because if I had the real thing, the questions would be getting asked. I'm just saying, if somebody walks in the door and sees a real grenade, we got an issue. But the reason why I have that is because actually for the reenactment guys handed me one made entirely of wood to look like a real German stick grenade.
I love that grenade.
I'm going to make one that works.
Are you?
Not one that goes boom, motherfucker. I can hear the 3-letter agency right now going, really, dude? No. I'm not making a live one as in kaboom. I'm making a live one as in you pop it, motherfucker makes a pop noise and goes and blows smoke. Nope. Yeah. It's for reenactment purposes only. It's not to I know what they're thinking. Can you hear the fuck? The poor bastard that's assigned to me is going, son of a bitch. He's talking about making grenades on air.
But on the other hand, the guys also, well, at least they're not talking about shit in this week.
Not yet, yeah. But yeah, it's interesting, but see, only at least one person knew who Marie Antoinette was. But then again, I was told I'm full of useless information, so yeah, basically like a blank grenade, exactly. And I told him what would really be fun is if I could figure out how to make a bouncing Betty. They're like, seriously? I'm like, think about it. You step on it, it does in fact fly in the air, but it shoots like a big wad of flour or something like that. And if you got flour on you, you're done. And they're like, yeah. I said, but it would have to be made out of composites, not actual steel.
Yeah.
You know, something, so that way if it does shoot up and some jackass happens to be standing too close and hits him in the chin, it's not going to take his fucking face off. It's just going to go bonk, you know, knock him senseless a little bit. But Angie, I had a bouncing Betty. I had a real German mine. It was demilled, of course, but I actually had one. I want another one, but I can't find one because anybody who has one, you know, they're like, oh, we won't part with it. Or if you find one that they want to part with, they want to part it out one piece by piece, and they want so much for it that by the time you get done, you could buy a fucking brand new vehicle.
Yeah. Sherman's asking what a bouncing Betty is.
It's the nasty little German mine that you step on, it shoots in the air and explodes. We call them bouncing Betties.
Yeah, which I think it targets the top half of the body, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember the S mine, the German S mine.
Yeah.
Nasty little fucker you stepped on. It was full of ball bearings and all sorts of fun stuff. And when it jumped up out of the ground, it came up about chest to face height and then kaboom. And it was supposed to spread things outward on purpose, that height, because it wasn't necessarily to take out one, it was to take out many.
Yeah.
Think of it as like the predecessor to the Claymore. Only the Claymore doesn't jump out of the ground and get you. It just gets you and gets you really good. I mean, when you have over a pound of C4 wrapped in ball bearings, I mean. The cake thing. You know, she actually stole a street child to take care, and she never said,
she never
eat
said
the cake thing.
Let them eat cake.
No, that was, yeah. Well, there's a lot of misconstrued comments throughout history that I've unfortunately had to correct, like the Japanese admiral comment that everybody likes to use. You know, no one will be able to invade mainland USA. There'd be a rifle behind every blade of grass. He never said that. He did, however, say everybody is armed.
Yeah.
He was very adamant about that, but he never said the line that the famous line that everybody thinks. There's several of those out there. This is true. The French did get feisty from time to time, but then again, their military doctrine is we give up before the fight starts. Anyhow, we should probably get to what we're supposed to be doing, right? We can talk about some of this stuff later. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But, okay. So Philadelphia's mayor says his fellow Democrats just voted for more people to die from drug overdoses, and experts say he's right, at least according to the article. Philadelphia lawmakers voted this month to essentially ban supervised injection sites. The vote came despite evidence that the sites significantly reduce overdose deaths. Well, here's the problem. What it's doing is promoting drug use. The reason why even the Democrats in Philadelphia said no is because the sites are being overrun and overwhelmed. Because more and more and more people are like, oh, we got a safe spot. If we start to die, they'll save us. So let's go there and do drugs. It's an illegal substance that still has the capability to kill anybody that comes into contact with it. So why the fuck are we rewarding it anyway? They don't need a safe space. They need a prison cell, or, you know. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I think what should be happening is that they should be taking these people to jail because it's a crime, prosecuting them for the crime, and while they're in there, they have to go through rehabilitation. Let's attach rehabilitation with the prison.
You know, yeah, I'm actually surprised they don't do that. Rehabilitate. I mean, you already have them put away for a while. So,
right, but they may detox, but they're not getting the help, not getting the necessary help to actually break themselves of the habit.
yeah.
because you can put them in there for a year and they'll come right back out. And the first thing they do is go get a needle. I believe they need, some sort of facilities to take care of this, and not this. I mean, like we got drug court or whatever else like that. You go to drug court, you don't have to go to jail. Well, guess what? I think you should only be able to do that once. You get drug court once. The second time, you just go to fucking jail, and then you go through the rehab while you're in jail. But I'm in agreement once with these about not doing a place that, to me, promotes drug use. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's just how I feel about it.
It's kind of a shock that you have like hundreds of people that, are going out into the streets and just passing out and not waking up because they're ODing on fentanyl.
Yeah.
That's kind of a scary thing.
Yeah, but do you think there should be a safe area where they could do this and have actual fucking employees on standby to go and Narcan a motherfucker? I'm sorry, I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
D-Man's not wrong. Read his comment.
Let's see. Let me switch back over. Did I even get that? Oh.
Did you get it?
It doesn't look like it come through on my end.
All right, it says they quit doing that when the prisons decided to be for profit. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
There's no worse burnout nurses than in these facilities, trying to help people and realizing you're not able to help them. I agree. I agree with that. Angie says I have Narcan in my bag. Well, that's just weird, but okay. Good for you, I guess. I carry a lot of medical stuff in my truck, but that is just not one of them. The chances of me actually needing Narcan are kind of nil. And I mean for other people. I don't mean for myself.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, see, it says Kensington, a neighborhood in northeast Philadelphia, is ground zero for this kind of behavior. It's home to open-air dealing in heroin and tranq, an animal sedative that can result in limbs being amputated. But people all over Philadelphia, addicted and unhoused, can be found lying motionless on sidewalks or a stranger's front stoop. That's because they're promoting the behavior.
Why would you do anything where you run the risk of having a limb amputated?
Dude, think about the shit that I do. I have amputated a limb. What are you talking about? No, I get what you're saying. Well, I don't get the drug use anyway. I don't. I mean, you see these videos of these people. How's that enjoyable?
It's like
go ahead.
Seeing like somebody, I've seen people around here in town that you can literally tell they do meth because they're fucking ate up with sores. Their teeth are rotting out of their head. They look like death warmed over 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you want to do something where this is the outcome?
Yeah, nothing says I'm going to party like putting battery acid anhydrous and gasoline into your system.
Yeah.
Because that's the components to meth. Some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, same thing with, I don't understand how that can be enjoyable. I mean, you watch these videos and these motherfuckers are, you know, walking like Weekend and Bernie's, all lean back and shit, and they don't know where they're at. They don't know what's going on. And it takes forever for them to come out of it. Why the fuck would you want to do that to yourself?
Yeah.
Oy. They have safe drug sites across Canada, and the only good to come out of them is very small, like less than 2% of saving or recovering from the use of those drugs, and all taxpayer funded. Of course, it's taxpayer funded. We're paying for them to get high. That's the fun part. They even give them the shit if they are going through withdrawals. Yeah. So why is this a bad thing that they're voting against it? I know this is going to hurt, but they chose that life. They chose to put that shit in their system. We didn't. Why are we paying for them to do it? I know, it sounds kind of cold-hearted, doesn't it?
It's like, you know, I firmly believe in like second chances.
Yes.
You know, you get
No
people,
question.
you know, they get arrested, they do their time, they get back out. Now you go right back into it, then all bets should be off and you should get maximum penalty.
Well, there's certain ones that's not just, second chances. It's third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. You know, they just continually let them out, and then they continually do the same behavior. So when do we draw the line? Seriously, when do we draw the line? I don't understand.
Yeah, because constantly giving them chance after chance and chance, they never learned anything.
No, it's at some point you've got to say no more. We're not helping you anymore.
Because all you're actually helping them do is the same vicious cycle over and over and over.
Yeah. A person has to choose to save themselves. Exactly. I agree with that. I mean, there's certain things that I'm going to say there are certain things that you can't get out of that's natural. But this is a choice. This drug is a choice. You chose at one point to say, "Hey, I want to put this in my system," and then you act like it's everybody else's fault because you decided to put it in your system. Well, that's a really sad story, Angie.
Yeah, nobody's judging you.
Well, you might not be, but I sure as fuck am. What? What did she? I don't understand. What did I miss? Yeah, I hear you, D-Man. I must have missed something. Okay, I don't know the context of what they're saying, so I'm gonna have to skip through. Let's see. Yeah, this whole time I've been stalling trying to find a song to play, and I fucked up and didn't find one.
I don't know what would be a good one to.
Yeah, to follow up on that, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
I'm looking. Wow, I actually don't have anything to come in mind. Oh, this is not good. Ah, fuck it. We haven't played it for a while.
Yeah, that works.
Yep.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say?
I didn't stutter. I said.
The Machine Radio
through my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show.
All right, and we're back, and we don't know what we're going to go with next, really. We got a few things. I'm kind of saving the audio for a little bit longer.
Okay.
But then again, I don't even remember which audio we actually have, so I'll just check that. Yeah, because these two almost play into each other, in a way. So, wait a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, we could wait a little bit.
All right, we'll wait a little bit. But only because you said so.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, well, we knew this was bound to happen.
Yeah. I think I'm glad to hear that they're exercising their rights.
Yeah, and I'm glad some people actually read the article instead of reading just the fucking headline.
Mm-hmm.
Because the headline is poorly written. But anyhow, I'll let you lead off on this one.
All right. So hundreds of high school students organize walkout to protest trans bathroom rule. Rights are now compromised. I believe this happened in Pennsylvania.
A lot of things seem to be happening in Pennsylvania. First, we got drug sites that are disappearing. We just talked about that, and then we're talking about this.
Yeah, so hundreds of students planned a walkout on Friday after the local school board failed to enact a policy requiring transgender students to use the restroom corresponding with their biological sex. Gentleman here, John Ott, who organized the walkout, said that kids were upset. Girls, they wanted to protect them. They were upset. They didn't want men in their bathroom, and that's 100% fair. It's understandable. Because when this first started going on, we ended up with fruitcakes getting in the women's bathroom and then crimes being committed.
But that never happened, remember? We were told that that was not possible, that it never happened. I got a stack of those fucking things. A stack, literal stack.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Let's see. His mom accused the district of only protecting transgender students and not looking at the whole picture. She said that the safety of females is so important, and these students that walked out, they are to be commended. They have the courage, and they exercise the First Amendment rights, and I 100% agree with that. This is about protecting our children and our privacy, and boys and girls. It's simple biology.
Break some veins!
What?
So proposed policy 720 came after a local father, Tim Jagger, posted on social media that his daughter was left, quote, too upset and emotionally disturbed to walk into school bathrooms after allegedly having an encounter with a transgender student in one of the facilities.
Watch me poop.
Sorry, that was perfect timing. I couldn't. Yeah, go ahead.
The outlet's report, however, said neither the father nor his daughter were 100% sure that the student Jagger's daughter encountered in the restroom was a biological male. That just means that it was unidentifiable.
Pat?
It was a Pat. I was just getting ready to say that.
Most people don't even probably remember who Pat is. Because you never could figure out. That was the whole idea. Do you know if it's Patricia or Patrick?
Right. Well, come on here. Take your time. Victoria Rudolph, which was another Valley student, told the news that allowing biological males to enter women's restrooms also makes her uncomfortable and changes need to be made to protect girls.
But they don't believe in that anymore. Go ahead.
Well, she continued on by saying there needs to be some changes. It's just uncomfortable seeing a 19 or 18-year-old man in the bathroom. A third student, Brandon Emery, said the district has not explained how they plan to enact the policy, but students feel as if their voices are not being heard.
They're not. They do not care. See, that is the thing right now with this progressive bullshit that keeps getting shoved down your fucking throats. They don't give a shit. Okay, they're going for. They're coddling the extreme minority is what they're doing, and you can't convince me otherwise, and you definitely can't convince me otherwise that the majority of these people that say that they're trans or whatever else like that it isn't a fad. That they're doing it because they want the attention. That is it.
And that's how I see the school board in protecting them or coddling them, is they're siding with what's popular. So those who feel violated, I guess, nobody, they don't really care about them. They're basically just going to tell them to deal with it.
Yeah, it doesn't, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I honestly, like I said, I know how I feel about it. I mean, if somebody walked into I don't agree with this at all. I don't agree with, well, because today I feel like a dainty, so I'm going to put on a dress and say that I'm female and go into, no. And it's the locker room change thing. Look at what it did to the kids. Wasn't it in New York? Was it New York? The girls, since the girls objected to a biological male swinging his dick around inside their locker room, that the girls were made to change in a fucking closet, and the transgender got the
run of the locker room. Yeah.
But remember, the same people that promote this stuff, the same people that agree with it, are literally telling these girls, we don't fucking care about you.
They're more concerned about getting put back into office.
Oh, I'm talking about even the supporters. I mean, I've read some of the comments in this article, at the end of this article, and that was one of the things that was said. But see, for every one person that was in agreement that says, well, they should be able to choose whichever bathroom they want, there was 50 saying, go fuck yourself. That should tell you, that this group is the minority group. And that we shouldn't, I mean, I'm sorry, we shouldn't be changing rules. We shouldn't be, these all people bathrooms. What the fuck is wrong with them? I mean, imagine sporting arenas, because this is supposed to happen. They're supposed to make sporting arenas in the state of Illinois to where the bathrooms for everyone. So you got little Sally, 8, 9 years old, walking in there to go take a leak, and there's a 55-year-old man with his dick just swinging, in the bathroom. They're like, well, they would have stalls. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Do you think for 1 second I would let even a teenager, let alone a preteen, in the bathroom at a sporting event with a bunch of men in that bathroom? Do you fucking think I'm going to let that happen and let it stand and it'd be okay?
Well, that was like I told you about the one con I went to. It was, the bathrooms were all gender. And that was really weird, to go in there to see males and females in the same restroom. And it was a little freaky.
Well, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about, I mean, the school, the kids did the right thing. The majority of the kids in this school walked out. The absolute majority of them walked out and said, we will not let this stand. This is not making it safe for anyone. This is making people uncomfortable. You need to figure out another way. What do you guys think about this? I personally think enough is enough. I think this progressivism bullshit needs to stop because it's a poison on society. But that's my opinion. I want to know what yours is. I mean, the reason why I brought this article up in the first place is because I applaud the kids for standing up for the rights.
And I was kind of skimming through the article, and like I know there was a mom in there, and she like had made a comment about like the kids should let it should be a fight that adults should be doing, and I'm like, no, the kids should very much be involved in this. It is their choice.
Oh,
for what they're standing up for.
I forgot to tell you that one of the proponents that agrees with letting cross-dressing Johnny into the bathroom with the girls also said that kids don't have rights. Yeah, that was an exact line. They're just children. They don't have any rights anyway.
Well,
I'm like, yeah, they kind of do because they're fucking human beings.
Well, by that thought process, well, neither do the trans kids. So they should just do what they're told.
I'm beginning to wonder if our chat room broke because nobody's saying anything. That's just really weird.
I'm getting some activity.
I'm not getting nothing. Nothing's happening over here at all. I am not seeing any comments.
Yeah, because D-Man says the kids did the absolute right thing. It's about the kids, isn't it? That's most teacher's favorite defense of all things.
Oh, see now, yeah. Look, I sent a message and look at it fucking flood. Sorry guys, my chat holy shit, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, I gotta say,
my God,
it was active.
I am sorry guys, my chat completely froze. I had no way of responding to any of these. Matt can see what I can see from here, and it was dead frozen. So let's back up. We will go back through. I'll go back through, and we'll just start. I don't know how fucking far to go back. Holy shit! Wow, there's a lot of them.
Probably about the time Brian popped in.
Yeah, it froze because they knew Brian was going to talk. I had some homegrown once that tasted like bacon. Okay, so she's still talking about weed. A student was raped by a trans student in the South. The school covered it up. The trans student was then was just transferred. I remember seeing that, yep. Christina. In fact, we did an article on that.
Yeah,
didn't
we talked about that.
A girl was sexually assaulted by trans students. Yeah, we just. They should run a special porta potty and stick it in the middle of the car park. That works. I like that, Matt. That works absolutely perfectly. As long as the tongue doesn't come out the phone. Okay.
That's some Freddy Krueger stuff.
Yeah. Christine, I remember that. The father being arrested. Yeah, we talked about that. In fact, we did a fairly long discussion on that. The kid's absolutely right. It's about the kids, isn't it? You would think it's about the kids, D-Man, but you never know nowadays because it seems to be that the fringe groups are the ones that are fucking running. The loony bin, the loonies are running the fucking nut house at this point. I mean, again, we've said before, we don't have a problem with trans people. We don't have a problem with them being them or whatever else like that. But there's got to be a fucking line to that. I'm sorry, there really has to be, especially when it comes to the safety of the kids. I don't think it's right for a male to walk into a girl's locker room because today he feels like a turnip. I don't think it's right. Oh, Drone does survive. He is alive. He's on here. It's amazing because we didn't know if anybody was alive because the chat room fucking froze on the computer. Technology is not my friend. But yeah, I wish people would, like with that comment, that one comment is burned in my brain. Well, they're kids; they don't have any rights. No, they do. Remember, we're supposed to give them the ability to free think, to give them the knowledge and let them run with it. Not say you're going to do this, and by the way, we're going to let little Johnny go balls out in your fucking bathroom just because he feels like it. I mean, I made some comments before, as a joke about this a long time ago, saying, well, why didn't they have that when I was, when we were in school? Because 3/4 of the fucking football team would have suddenly felt female for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was a joke. It wasn't like I was like really serious. Like, yeah, I'd do that. No, it was fucking disturbing to me. But, drone, our analytics are across the board odd. Okay. If people aren't logged in, if people aren't, if they're not logged in or anything else like that, or, signed up or anything, it doesn't show us. We got proven by our hosting service that our numbers are well above and beyond what it says that they are, like by 150 times more than what it was, because they can see what we can't. They can see who's listening, but there's no names to them, so therefore it doesn't show up in the analytics. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, D-Man, there's Facebook audio only. Believe it or not, there is ways to watch without even logging into YouTube, and it will not show up in the analytics.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm free. Free balling. Yeah, I fucked up that song a long time ago, and somebody got mad. They're like, I really like that song. I was like, no, you'll never forget what I said. But, I mean, is there anything else you guys want to add to that? Because I think what they're doing is fantastic, and I think the school board won't listen, but I think they should. I think they should finally heed this warning and be like, listen, these kids don't want this. This shouldn't happen. This isn't normal. This is actually kind of raving lunatic type shit. This is insanity. This is a mental illness or a fad, which I've mentioned.
I'm kind of curious if the school board is going to punish the kids who walked out. That'd be something to follow, see what happens.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it. But I want to know what everybody else thinks. What's your guys' input, your thoughts on it, before we move on to the next thing. Oh,
Nope, you keep that shit over there.
it smells of sadness. Oh, it's spicy too.
Geez, like chemical warfare is not allowed.
Nonsense. It's definitely spicy too. Oh.
A little angry.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about what could possibly happen inside my guts to make that.
I just think it's a fair warning of things to come.
Teachers and their unions pushing political BS. Absolutely. It's exactly what they're doing, and they've been doing it for quite a while. Sherman says it's a total insanity. Even my 13-year-old is fed with this trend. That's disgusting. I'm like scanning through our shit. We ain't got nothing for this either. We're hitting
Nothing to fit in there.
No, we're hitting low on this. Seriously, tonight this is twice now. We're like, what the fuck do we put in here?
Well, this would have been a perfect chance to put a Tom Petty on.
I would rather shit in my hands and clap. I'm sorry. I mean, Tom Petty was great. No, that's not what I said at all. I know what I said. Just because it feels right. All right.
What was that?
We will be right back.
Hey, lefties, liberals and progressives. This is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wild. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
And Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm gonna need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. It's time for a random thought from the Machine Radio Show. This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. Aren't taxes like a subscription to your country that you can't cancel, no matter how bad the service gets? This has been your random thought from the Machine Radio Show.
For some reason, I feel that on a fucking personal level at this point. Anyhow, let's get right into, let's see here. Well, we got parts of a UN speech. We got the comptroller nominee. Comptroller nominee. This is some juicy shit, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows what a comptroller is and what their purpose is, right? It's to deal with money and stuff like that. And that'd probably be the last place on earth you'd want a communist, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want them in the government anyway, but fuck, we're being overrun by them. They're called progressives now. But this is just weird. This one kind of struck me. I mean, I don't know. Let's just play the clip. It's only 2 minutes and 55 seconds long. It's Kennedy going against the comptroller nominee, and the comptroller nominee backpedaling like a motherfucker. But
analysis and the theory of revolution in the capital.
crap. Hold on, I've seen comments. I'll restart that. Everything we've ever put out has always been between 2 and 4 tunes that are instant hits with this guy. Right. Yeah, they're talking about Sepultura. See, I really like Arise, the Arise album, Chaos AD. And I really like, even the one we just played, Refuse, Resist. I really dig that song, Dead Embryonic Cells. The older Sepultura. I like the older Sepultura. This new stuff, it's not Sepultura to me. I'm just going to put that out there. But I figured I'd answer that.
Kind of like the Whitechapel we were listening to earlier. And I'm kind of like, you mentioned that, and it didn't even dawn. I thought it was some new band you found. And I'm like, no, that really?
Yeah, that's Whitechapel, and you're like, wait, what the fuck happened? Okay. The rest, like machine, grow on you like a virus. Why, thank you very much. I prefer to be calling myself herpes. Because once you think I'm gone, bitch, I come right back. All right. Now back to the comptroller nominee.
Analysis and the theory of revolution in the capital. But you won't send Senator Toomey a copy. You studied at Moscow State University, scientific communism, which is the science regarding the working class struggle and the socialist agenda. In 2019, not 30 years ago, in a Canadian documentary, you called the financial services industry, quote, a quintessential asshole industry. You wrote a paper called Systemically Significant Prices, calling for the federal government to set wages, food, gas prices.
In other words, communists, they want the government to run every aspect of your life. This person is running for being nominated as comptroller?
2020, you wrote a paper called The People's Ledger.
See that just that right there, the People's Ledgers.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You said we need to abolish bank accounts and make everybody set up an account at the Fed where the federal government will have access to your data. In 2020, you wrote another paper called The Climate Case for a National Investment Authority, where you said what we need to do, the oil and gas industry, is have the federal government bankrupt them so we can tackle climate change. In 2019, you joined a Facebook group, a Marxist Facebook group, to discuss socialist and anti-capitalist views. Now, that's what I see from your record. And you have the right to believe every one of these things. You do. This is America. But I don't mean any disrespect. I don't know whether to call you professor or comrade.
Low blow. But he's right, though. She studied at a fucking communist university about communism, wrote papers about how communism is better than everything else, and this is her reply.
Senator, I'm not a communist. I do not subscribe to that ideology. I could not choose where I was born. I do not remember joining any Facebook group that subscribes to that ideology. I would never knowingly join any such group. There is no record of me ever actually participating in any Marxist or communist discussions of any kind.
Yeah, actually, there kind of is. He kind of told you about them because this is the kind of thing that they do when they do the research on you. And it's a long list. And it's even longer than what he said. I actually cut it down a little bit. Yeah. So I call bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need that. We need that sound. We need that sounder from that little kid. A bullshit.
My family suffered under the communist regime.
Everybody's family
I grew up
suffers under
without
communists.
knowing. Half of my family. My grandmother herself escaped death twice under the Stalin regime. This is what's seared in my mind. That's who I am. I remember that history. I came to this country. I'm proud to be an American. And this is why I'm here today, Senator. I'm here today because I'm ready for public service.
And that's why you wrote articles about communism.
Notice she never mentioned anything about that. About the articles.
Or the school she went to or anything else like that. Nope. Didn't at all. It's amazing, isn't it? You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again and I'll say it till, basically until I shuffle off the mortal coil. Everybody who's worried about the whole New World Order thing has got it so fucking backwards. It's mind-boggling. The New World Order is and always will be communism. Communism wants to infiltrate every government in the world and run it. And that's what they do over and over and over again. Look around. Look at the sphere of influence and tell me I'm wrong. Who has the bigger sphere of influence? It isn't the West. It's the communists. Yeah. The communist diet plan, eat some sleep. Yeah, pretty much. If they allow you to sleep at all. And she talked about, said her grandmother, escaped death twice under Stalin. Well, I got to speak with a family in another country recently that their grandmother, who is still alive, mind you, very, very old, but still alive, had to deal with it about 3, 4, 5 times from the same country, and they don't even live in that country. They survived being starved to death. they survived the attack by another country who decided to push their ideology on the world and got destroyed. Then they suffered through it again, and then now they're suffering through it again. Yeah. And that ideology that keeps pushing us on this family are the communists. But we do have some audio from that. We have an audio from a UN speech that I think everybody needs to hear, and this comptroller plays right into it. The comptroller should and will not, hopefully will not, be nominated or actually given the seat. But nothing would surprise me because remember, right now everything is about pushing that boundary, and it's not if somebody's capable of the job; it's who they are now.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we had one of them that was fucking, dressed like a fruit bat with a bald head stealing luggage. We have another one that's supposed to be the health advisor that dresses like a fat, ugly woman. And we wonder why the world is laughing at us. Because this is the kind of shit we do. We allow them to infiltrate our system and applaud them for it. No, it's not the UN that wants to take over the world.
It's the elite.
It's the elite, and it's the communists that want to take over the world. The communists have been very good about infiltrating every country, nearly every country in the world at this point. The dead giveaway should be all the communist nations really, really love the Klaus Schwab. In fact, Klaus Schwab himself is a big fan of Mr. Marxist himself. So there's that. But here, I want you to listen to 3 minutes and 41 seconds of a speech. Proud American, that's what I was thinking. I think we just need to put a Marine duty hat, like a J belt or a bulldog in that position and just let them run amok. I bet everybody in the White House drops 30 pounds in less than a week. Anyhow, let's listen to this, shall we?
Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, and invite him to address the assembly.
Is there any sense to reduce nuclear weapons when Russia is weaponizing nuclear power plants? Scary question. The global security architecture offers no response or protection against such a treacherous radiation threat, and there is no accountability for radiation blackmailers so far.
By the way, this is absolutely true. One of the first things that they did when they entered the Ukraine was go into several areas and plant a shit ton of explosives around nuclear power plants, not to knock out power, because they know if they destabilize it, it becomes one giant dirty bomb. And absolutely, Christina, you're right about that. They're starting to panic.
The sword example is children. Children. Unfortunately, various terrorist groups abduct children to put pressure on their families and societies. But never before the mass kidnapping and deportation would become a part of the government policy. Not until now. We know the names of tens of thousands of children and have evidence on hundreds of thousands of others kidnapped by Russia in the occupied territories of Ukraine and later deported.
And by the way, it's not just Ukraine, Chechnya, Georgia, Belarus. They've done that to several areas. They don't really have to do much to Belarus because Belarus is already Russia's bitch.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely true. It's 100% verified, and it's been verified not by NATO, not by UN, but by many other agencies, including Interpol, that this is happening. So that whole one of the multitude of lies that they use to justify their entering another country, which by the way happens about every 8 to 10 years anyway, regardless. And they always start the war. They never are not the aggressor. But this has been proven to happen over and over again because they want those kids indoctrinated. And sometimes they even send them home. When they send them home, well, you'll listen.
The International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Putin for this crime. And we are trying to get children back home. But time goes by. What will happen with them? What will happen to them? Those children in Russia are taught to hate Ukraine, and all ties with their families are broken. And this is clearly a genocide. When hatred is weaponized against one nation, it never stops there.
Now, like I said, the lie has been broken. One of the multitude of lies that the Kremlin has come up with is, well, we're going, and some of you fuckers have actually believed it. I'm sorry to say it that way. They're fighting child trafficking. They are fucking child trafficking. This is what they've been doing for years. They did this back in 2014. They did it before 2014, actually. When they got the idea to go back into the fucking Crimea because they wanted the Crimea back. This is the kind of shit that they've been doing. They've been teaching these kids, when they do release them, to call their Russian captors uncle. How do I know this? Because I've talked to some of the families where their kids have come home. This is the real thing. This is child trafficking. This is the real deal. This isn't the imaginary bullshit that you guys have been fed by some fucking obscure publication. Okay, this is the real stuff.
Each decade, Russia starts a new war.
Didn't I just say that?
Parts of Moldova and Georgia remain occupied. Russia turned Syria into...
He missed one. He says parts of Moldova and Georgia. Chechnya. There's still Russians in Chechnya. There's still Russians in Syria. They destabilized many of these areas. Everybody blamed the destabilization on the U.S., and that's not entirely true at all. Like he said, and he's right about this, every so often, and I say 8 to 10 years, not just 10 years, not every decade, Russia starts a war. They don't get into a war to protect anything, to protect their interests or anything else like that. They start a war. They get into this shit to take over fucking territory or to destabilize so that the territory follows their every whim. They inject their, this is what's fucking, not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to hit the button. You got anything to say? You sure you don't want to say anything?
Yeah.
I mean, you can add something. I wouldn't mind. Okay.
Ruins. And if not Russia, the chemical weapons would have never been used there in Syria. Russia has almost swallowed Belarus. It is obviously threatening Kazakhstan and other Baltic states.
Ha! I was right about Kazakhstan too, motherfucker. I mentioned Kazakhstan in another live, and also mentioned Azerbaijan and Belarus and several other places. I'm going to continue on.
And the goal of the present war against Ukraine is to turn our land, our people, our lives, our resources into a weapon against you, against the international rules-based order. And I am aware of the attempts to make some shady dealings behind the scenes. Evil cannot be trusted. Ask Prigozhin if one bets on Putin's promises. Please, hear me. Let unity decide everything openly. While Russia is pushing the world to the final war, Ukraine is doing everything to ensure that after Russian aggression, no one in the world will dare to attack any nation. Weaponization must be restrained. War crimes must be punished, deported people must come back home, and the occupier must return to their own land. We must be united to make it, and we'll do it. Slava Ukraini.
Now I could have played his entire speech, but that would have been almost 18 minutes long if I remember right. And but I agree with what he said because it's been proven to be true. It's not a not some sort of theory. It's not written by an obscure publication with only one source. It's known the world over. Like Romania, the Czech Republic, and stuff like that, they are there. They know what's going on, and they are reporting this. In fact, one of the first countries that actually broke the story about them taking children back to their country, away from the families, was actually Poland and Czech Republic. And I believe it was followed by a couple other of the Baltic states. But this is what's going on. I've wanted to play this for you guys because it is fresh, it is new. I also wanted to let you know that I'm trying to give you the truth here, and I'm not going to steer you wrong with it, with what I'm saying. I'm looking at this not as an objective of a government. I'm looking at it as a group of people, as a country, as just civilians. I could give a fuck about their government. I could give a fuck about him. I'm worried about the people. But the thing is what people just can't seem to grasp the concept is who is the aggressor and who is the most dangerous and who is causing the most problems. The whole reason why nothing has ever been done to Russia or China is because, one, China owns us. They got us by the balls. We have so much debt in fucking China, it'll never... If China decided to stop imports, this whole fucking country would implode in a matter of days. Russia, because everybody is still afraid of that Cold War mentality where all they're going to do is just say, well, we're going to nuke you. Guess what? They've been doing that for the past 50 fucking years.
Well, Russia also has a huge ally with China.
Correct.
As well, so... Yeah,
and a few other places. Drone, you said the audio, the clips are hard to hear. It's because I didn't have time to put them through a program and up the audio. That's unfortunate, but that's just what I'm stuck with. But I think all this ties into it. Like I said, everybody's talking about the New World Order. I'll say that again. The communists have always been the New World Order, and this is the direction that they're taking. The comptroller nominee is a communist. Half of the fucking people that they've been trying to nominate into the government is a communist. We've got people who are congressmen and congresswomen who are devoutly communist. This is what we're dealing with. The answer to that question is whoever can afford to pull it off or coordinate many small steps to a larger self-goal. Precisely, but some of them don't have to spend money to do that. The Russians knew the communist. I'll say communists, not just the Russians. They're just communists. They know what they're doing. They know that if they infiltrate the government, if they help chip away, I guess, at the surface, that eventually the shell will crack. And we're starting to see that a little more and a little more and a little more. But in terms of, the former USSR or Russia or whatever else like that, they have never been the non-aggression. They've always been the aggressor. Even in World War II, and I hear people say that, well, the Germans attacked them. Yes, indeed, the Germans did, but they attacked the Polish first. They also attacked a couple other areas first. They have never not been the aggressor, and that's the only thing that they know. They go in force to take areas. They don't care if it's man, woman, child, whatever. They don't give a shit. They'll kill it. That's what they know. Hell, they don't even treat their own soldiers very well, but that's besides the point. They really don't. They shit on their soldiers quite a bit.
Yeah.
In fact, you know that there's it's not really the Red Cross, but there's a group of people that are in Russia and a group of people that are in Ukraine and several other countries. When one of the soldiers is killed, they notify the other country and be like, listen, one of your guys is dead. He's right here. The Russian government has arrested multiple people who have reported the deaths of Russian soldiers because they do not want people to know that the Russian soldiers are dying or dead. The reason for that is because they're going to have to pay their families. They don't like doing that. They don't even pick up their dead off the battlefield. They just fucking leave them. They don't care. They're not like us. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, I can agree with that. Go ahead and read that.
D-Man says, death by 1,000 small cuts, like the frog in the pot on a heating stove.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't. People don't want to understand that. People don't want to listen. They get in this mindset, and I say this over and over and over again. They let the blind hatred for their own fucking country, for their own government, not the country, because they love the country. They just hate the government. They let their blind hatred for the government dictate their thoughts on certain things. They disregard any information that's truthful. They disregard the historical aspect of most of this simply because the enemy is the friend. You know what I mean? It's a story I can go on for quite a while. In fact, I'm going to mention it again. I urge you all to join us on Lost Battlefields with Tino Struckman Saturday, 12 Central Time, and watch the new documentary that's coming out, and listen to us talk afterwards. I truly believe it's an eye opener, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. I really can't. Story, look at their equipment. Look at the type of equipment. Even their most modern equipment, the T-90. It is not built to save the occupant. It is built to fucking explode the second it gets hit. None of their equipment, even our, and I'm talking about tanks. Okay, our Abrams has blast flaps. If that tank is to get hit, it closes these fucking flaps. It closes these big steel gates, and the flaps on the back blow out to relieve the pressure from the tank, protecting the occupants inside. The Russian tanks with the autoloaders, the ammunition is the fucking sides. So what happens when it gets hit? NASA gets to see another turret fly into fucking outer space. That's what happens, and everybody's dead instantly. There's no fucking survival. The APCs, like our Bradley fighting vehicles and stuff like that, even they have countermeasures, or at least give them a fighting chance to get the fuck out. The Russian APC is a diesel-powered vehicle that uses this compressed air, okay, to fire the vehicle. If it's the diesel one. The compressed air tank is right on the side. The armor is about a half an inch thick. Sometimes the standard rifle round can punch that. And when it punches it, it blows up the inside. And guess what? Everybody dead. The back doors that all the Russian soldiers get to jump out of, guess what those are? They're not bulletproof, but they're full of fuel. It's the fuel tanks. They're nothing but fodder. And again, they don't like picking up their own dead or anything else like that. It's pretty bad when their enemy has more empathy for the fucking soldiers, for the soldiers of a country that has invaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they go and collect the dead, and they try and notify the families. I think it's mostly because it pisses the Russian government off, because now they got to pay the families. What the hell happened with that F-35? Well, we had a pilot that probably should have never been a pilot. One thing you don't do is you don't put your plane on autopilot when they're getting the fuck out. 2, why would you punch out if the plane can fly 50 miles on its own? That's a curiosity. I don't know where this thing was at, so I can't tell you if there was an ability to land or skim or whatever else like that. But yeah, that's interesting. Now we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey lefties, liberals, and progressives. This is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wild. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm going to need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do.
And I realized I fucked up twice. One, I forgot to take myself off of mute. Secondly, I played the same clip over.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really, really bad fuck up. Yeah. So, hey, Per, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. That link right there is the link to tomorrow's video. After that will be the live Q&A chat. I urge everybody to join us for that. And I got to message the man himself and tell him that he kind of overlapped him. I forgot. I should probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to do that right now. I remember, actually. There, sent. Okay. But seriously, I want you guys to watch this. I think it's going to be an eye opener. Just join us. It's actually a good time. If you're into history, if you're into anything like that at all, check out the channel completely. Like and subscribe. Tell them the machine sent you. Yes, it premieres in Saturday. Not tomorrow, Saturday. Holy fuck. I'm going to scream.
Yeah, I'd say don't do that because I already worked Sunday and I'm already off a fucking day. You'll make me off 2 days.
He's actually checking right now. He thinks that YouTube just screwed it up. So he's checking right now to see why, because apparently it's supposed to start at 10 in the morning, and then the Q&A is after.
It's afterwards.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to, since I'm his admin, I guess I should go back and check again, huh? Do. Checking. Yeah. Yeah, it's wrong. He'll fix it. Okay, he's trying to figure it out. Oh, you gotta love technology. It does happen more with age. I mean, I don't have brain farts. My brain just completely shits its pants on occasion. But anyhow, what else do we have? Do we even have anything else? I thought we did, but we don't. Well, we got the Illinois Supreme Court thing and the sheriff. Because, no cash bail now. So they just let criminals out. Or we can just sit here and bullshit. I don't know. It's up. I'll tell you what. Let's leave it up to them. Let's take a vote. Do you want to get into some more articles? Do you want to talk more about that? Or you just want to go into basically our version of Q&A, which is fucking around and talking? I mean, I can tell you more about the, the trip or whatever, whatever. Because I'm going to remind you that I'm not going to be here next week anyway, so. What? I would have grabbed Lauren, but never mind. Did you see the whole Lauren Bebert thing?
The what?
Lauren Bebert got kicked out of a Beetlejuice play because she was vaping and groping.
Yeah.
Okay, like you haven't done that in a fucking movie theater. Anyhow. Oh, Sherman's leaving us again. He does that from time to time. He's like, you know what? I'm the fuck out this bitch. Damn Frenchman, I'm telling you, they just leave you hanging high and dry. Yeah, definitely glad you found him, dude. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. He's having me check again. He goes, better? I'm like, how the fuck should I know? I told him, I was like, I'm on my show, dude. I'm talking on my show, and he didn't want me to look. And this doesn't mean that I like him. You know that? No, it still says 12 on my side. Anyhow, well, I mean, what do you guys want to do here? Do you want to talk about another article? Do you want to just talk about some bullshit? What? Let me know. I just refreshed it.
It's saying 11:45 now.
Okay, that's for the Q&A.
Yeah.
What about the video? Weed and shit jokes. Jeez. We've corrupted people. See you later, Sherman. Well, don't everybody talk at once. Shit. Anyhow, okay, I'm going to get up to the chat room here because someone votes for weed and shit jokes. Brandon, do you ever find anything about the migrants being housed in Chicago O'Hare? Any truth to that story? They weren't necessarily at O'Hare, but yes, there was some truth to that. I just couldn't find a whole bunch on it, so I didn't want to bring it up. It was Chrysler's wife. Okay. Man dragged in the car, drove him to Bridge of Hope, a treatment center for the people with addiction problems. Oh, no shit. That's crazy. Let's see. Come on, people, let's talk. Let's do something shit. You're boring me. Hurting my feelings. Son of a shit. Matt, the video says 11 a.m. The chat says 11:45 a.m. on my side. What does it say on yours?
I'm still showing 12:45, and then if I click on it, it says 11:45.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to multitask here. Apparently, I can do that. I don't see the Q&A. There it is. Okay. Sorry, guys. When you find a fuck up, you gotta tell him about it, or else I'll forget, and then it'll be a big fuck up, Saturday. So, what's everybody's take on the government's plan to issue ICE IDs to migrants and then relist them in droves in the near future? I think it's complete and utter bullshit. If you want to be an American citizen, you come the correct way. And I think what they're doing is just like they did with the licenses for illegals and Motor Voter Registration Act. Going fast track Venezuelan migrants so they can get to work. Yeah. That sucks, Per. Come on, guys. We gotta find something to talk about, or I'm gonna go nuts. Because we're just sitting here wasting fucking air. I mean, we've only got like 5 minutes left, but we can talk about something. Shit.
I think we need to...
Why does the phone say one new missed call?
How long has that been like that?
I don't know.
Maybe it's from like a lot earlier today or sometime this week.
It could be.
No, I was going to say, I think we need to watch carefully this winter to see if they're going to push for COVID lockdowns, because they're already initiating the program to send out free home COVID tests.
Of course they are. But anyhow, well, I'll tell you what. How about this? Do you guys have any questions on Lost Battlefields? On what's, did you? How many of you have actually went to the link, liked, and subscribed, and put the notifications on to not just the video Saturday, but the live Q&A? Well, at least one of you did. Yeah, my plan has never changed. I'm proudly not vaccinated, and I don't wear a mask, and I'm not being locked up. If I want to go somewhere, I'm fucking going. The show says 10 a.m. to start. Son of a bitch. Awesome, Christina. You need to check out some of the other videos too. You're gonna like it. Be sure to go on at least one of the videos, the new ones, the old ones, whatever else like that, and say the Machine Radio Show sent you.
Yeah, I'm kind of currently perusing his videos right now.
That's awesome, D-Man. I've been around for quite some time too. I don't remember how long. I know it's towards the beginning of him getting started with the thing. It wasn't long after that. But it wasn't until I'd say about that time frame like yours that I actually became quite close with Mr. Struckman in a totally platonic, non-gay way. I saved the Wiener for that guy. Matt's like, no, please don't tell people that. They're going to believe this. I know, isn't that bullshit? It drives us nuts, Christina. Says, I wish I could see the whole comments and not that big red heart. Yeah, it annoys the hell out of all of us too, especially us admin, because we want to, see the comment first. So if we have to do something about it, we can do it quickly. You can't, because you can't read the whole fucking comment.
And then there's sometimes like somebody will have a good point and I'm trying to read it and then it cuts off like last 2 or 3 words and I'm like trying to decipher what it is.
That seems to happen a lot in the Philippines, actually. If they think you even have the even the slightest connection to any of the drug lords or anything else like that, even if you just passed by and waved to somebody, they can fucking throw you in jail over there. Hey, D-Man, do you remember how many times I pissed off people in there too? We run things very differently, don't we? I'm more the direct approach. I look at you guys, I read your comments and everything else like that, and if I see something I don't like, I address it. There was people that got pissed because I was replying to them, and I actually stopped Tino from talking. Stop, wait. I'm responding to this, and I responded to the comment, and he's like, dude. I'm like, what? They're fucking idiots. I was like, when they say something like that, I'm going to respond, and it was because it was derogatory towards the host. One of them actually told the host to shut the fuck up and let somebody else talk. I was like, he's the host. And the guy that was talking was not all that bright. What do I think about Brazil? Depending on where you're going. I would actually like to visit Sao Paulo, even though that's kind of at your own risk. I think it'd be worth the trip. That's the home of Ayrton Senna, and you can go see the Senna statue or whatever else like that. I'm a Formula One fan, so you can go check that out for me, because I'll probably never get to go. Well, yes, because I'm a different animal, D-Man. He says, yes, I do. I only see this here. Fuck them people. I understand not saying it there because, as an admin, because it's his channel and his stuff is monetized, I have to filter those comments. I can't allow those types of comments. So if somebody says, go fuck, fuck this, fuck that, or anything else like that, I have to delete that comment, or I have to warn the person, please don't do that. And if they do it again, I have to put them in timeout. Because his is monetized. Yeah. It could screw him over pretty bad. We're still trying to figure out a way to do that for us because, believe me, we need the money to keep this shit going. Yes, Matt, I have. I have quite a bit. I try to behave myself, especially even on Discord when I want to strangle people. Yeah, I like money too, Drone. The problem is I don't have any. And it's a waste of time to actually try and reach out for that. So, same with those trolls that show up too. Yeah, there's one that actually already just showed up, and I'm waiting for them to comment back. They haven't even seen the new episode yet, and they're already talking shit. We can't be monetized because we play what they consider to be copyrighted content, which is anything from audio clips to songs or whatever else like that. Hell, when we first started, I got gigged for a song that I wrote. You remember that, don't you? I was like, it was my song, and they're like, yep, this is copyrighted. You can't use that. And I'm like, the fuck I can't. I'm the one that wrote it. Oh, you're talking dirty to me. He says he's going to send me a few quid. I like quid. Maybe a change in the show? Absolutely not. We've been the machine for over a decade now, and we don't plan on changing. If we did, everything would go to shit. We wouldn't be able to use any audio bites at all, not even the fucking sounders. We wouldn't even be able to do this.
How dare you?
Just by using that right there, that would be considered a copyright infringement and demonetized. Every time you use the foul language, it's demonetized. If you make a dick joke, it's demonetized. If you tell somebody they're clinically mentally ill, that's a demonetizing. If you talk about anything that we talked about tonight, actually, that's a demonetization. YouTube is a fickle bitch. And I don't like playing their game. Because, we are...
You fucking ho dunk, po dunk, well then there, motherfuckers!
And you're welcome. Yeah, Drone, if you want this to be the most neutered fucking show ever, we can go that route. That's what I'm saying, brother. We've got the equipment. We got equipment. It functions sometimes. It's equipment upkeep and all the websites that we got to pay to keep the show running. We can't even branch out and go on to like Rumble or anything else like that because it costs per month and we can't do that. That's the reason why we're looking at sponsorship packages and if and whenever I can get back on my own fucking feet, so to speak, have merchandise, which we will ship globally. Gladly ship it globally because I want somebody to be wearing a Machine Radio fucking show t-shirt in the middle of like Berlin, Germany or some shit. And have them take photos of like right in front of the fucking, yeah. That's what that'd be awesome. and Matt Mardell, we'll figure this out. We'll get everything. We'll figure it out some way. We'll do a live where we can post a link or whatever else like that. Maybe attach it to the show somehow. We'll figure it out. I've listened to the other shows and stuff like that. The problem is, Drone, that most of them don't like us because we are the petulant child of the group. I'm going to be honest. I've heard it before. You guys are like fucking teenagers. You're right, because we like having fun. We just like entertaining you while giving you the information, you know. Goat soap. Brandon, you have to stop tormenting me with Greta Thunberg's voice. I feel sick when I hear her voice. That's a really sad story.
How dare you?
Now I need it on fucking loop where it just sits there and goes, how dare you, how dare you, how dare you, over and over again. By the way, I broke one of my biggest rules. I usually stop a half hour before the show ends. But because I was too busy talking and not doing it, I just finished it. I didn't want to waste it. Hey, everybody likes a smooth goat. Just, yeah. Oh, you mean goat soap? I'm sorry. Hey, Purr. I'm so sorry, dude.
How dare you?
He's going to be like, I'm never listening to you again, you motherfucker. The dude from Sweden is going to kill us all. Canadian Freedom 35. You're damn right. We want Freedom 35 and Lickerman's old dirty Canadian whiskey. It probably tastes like ass, but I just want a bottle because it's part of the Trailer Park Boys. I mean, maybe if we got a bottle of that, we could put 2 turnips in heat, right? Maybe get 2 birds stoned at once. Damn it, Drone, you're going to make me use this again, and Purr's going to punch me in the ear.
How dare you?
Purr, you know I love you, man, and you know eventually I'm going to get this feed in and hang out with you guys, and you know I really do. I'm really working on trying to get to Europe to do some history stuff. Unfortunately, it's going to be like a crowdfunding type situation because I can't even afford to put $10 in the truck, let alone go to fucking Europe. But we'll get there. But it's one of my goals. I want to come see some of you guys. I want to hit Germany. I want to hit France and Sweden, and Ukraine, Latvia. I got a few places I want to hit up.
There you go, Purr.
Oh, no. Dude, that would cure a boner anytime.
Yep.
Instant limp dick. Seriously, not with a fucking... Dude, not with a stolen dick. I'd rather super glue my dick to the bullet train than run a train on that.
I think that's also the picture that goes with the soundbite.
I mean, do you think she says, how dare you, when it pokes her in the butt?
Probably.
Boom! How dare you? Wait a minute! No, she can't do that because lubrication is petroleum based. I never said we were right. I never said anything was good. We're all crazy. Oh, Ferg just said, you really are from hell, Matt.
You have no idea.
Holy shit, guys. All right. Well, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. You guys know I am not going to be here next week because I've got my annual history trip. I'm going to be doing my history thing throughout northern Illinois and Wisconsin. Thankfully, that has been covered. I think, at least getting there is covered. After that, I've had no fucking clue. But it's kind of my solace. It's I get to do history things outside of here. Cooped up in an office. I'm going to try and go live on YouTube and give you guys a walk around of World War II days. So be on the lookout for that. Even if I throw some video shorts up to let you guys know what's going on. But I think we're actually done for the night. Don't you think?
I believe we are.
Yep, I do believe we are done for the night. As per usual, I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us. We do really love you guys. You are our family, our friends. You're what make this show possible. If it wasn't for you guys, well, we'd still be fucking talking to ourselves. But we like this show format the way it is. We do not want to change it. We want to be able to answer your guys' questions and talk to you directly. It just makes things better, makes things more interesting, and we appreciate each and every one of you. But we are going to get out of here, and we will see you guys later.
Have a great weekend.
And enjoy this, because I haven't played it for a while, and I know one of you is going to fucking ask.
I've been watching so much news, I don't know who I should trust. I don't know who's been telling the truth and who's been lying to us. The Biden administration promised everybody they'd unite all of us, but it just feels like we're all way more divided than we've ever been in our lives, and it sucks. I've been watching so much news, it's so hard to rise above. It's so hard to put on a smile when hopes are down and prices are up. Go to the store, go get some gas. Times are tough, how much more do we have to take and pay and give and cry and cuss? I've been watching so much news, I feel like my eyes are stuck. No matter how much I try not to look, I can't keep my eyelids shut. It's got me so confused, I think my mind's going nuts. Because as of lately, you wanna know who I would fuck? Nancy Pelosi. Someone tell that granny to blow me. I'd take out her dentures, put them on the dresser, slide off her panties and proceed. I'd whip out her knockers fast and start throwing uppercuts like a boxing match. I'd grab her by the nipples and I'd flip them up and down until the flapping in the wind, and then I'd spin them all around and go. Have you seen them titties? Every time I think of them things, I'm giddy. She's far from the itty bitty titty committee. Come on, man, she could start her own team in the big leagues. I think about them just to pass the day. Man, I bet those fuckers ain't passed away. If I laid on the ground with my head by your feet and she dropped them, they probably smack my face. People said I'll get killed for this. I don't give a fuck, I take risks. I don't give a damn if Nancy kills me as long as she suffocates me with her kids. AOC is too young for me, and I'd hate to listen to that bitch bicker. Hillary is just plain ugh, but Nancy's got them twin sisters. I wanna get up inside this nympho. We can make love, I'll slide it in slow. I just wanna make some money the fast way and get her to spill some of that insider info. We could go to the bar and get drunk, and I'll drive home after like 20 White Claws. You don't gotta worry about a DUI when you're banging Nancy. Right, Paul? Nancy. Ow! Fuck, I thought I told you to take those dentures. Ow! Whoops. The fuck in my house. No. Really pissed me off. Matter of fact, hey, yo, Jaren.
Sorry.
Wanna hit this dog?
Why not? Don't act surprised. Y'all niggas know I'm off. I fuck Nancy inside the Oval Office wearing a MAGA hat and she got on the kente claw. Take one for the team, dog. It pays off. You get money and stock tips from the same broad. Get some life insurance. Hey, nigga, don't be scared. Make it look like she tripped down the White House stairs. Nancy, I'm joking. Don't cancel me. Am I too much for you? Can you handle me? Will you marry me? Let's start a family. Make that shake, Nancy, just like a tambourine. Tickle bitties, watch him bounce like a trampoline. Damn it, Nancy, what the fuck are you channeling? What have you done to me? I am unraveling. Sound like Joe Biden rambling. She told me to pull out and come in her hair. Fuck both of them, Nancy and Kamala Harris. My niggas got jokes and I'm so embarrassed. I fuck me and Nancy blowing commas in Paris. Pelosi blow me, she like no hands. Hit the beach with Nancy, get a suntan. Wanna fuck all the time, I'm just one man. Just shot up a club, now she talking about gun bands. Not right now, Nancy. Freaking me out. Hey, we had a good thing going and shit getting political. We finna bounce. And QAnon said you eat babies. And boy, oh boy, I saw you swallow a decent amount. And do me a solid and top me off one more time before you walk out and speak to the house. Dear Nancy, I love you.